there's actually three ways that you can sell instructor-led training. So first, your own folks can get certified and teach. It does not cost anything for an individual to become a certified instructor. They simply take the course, pass the exam. We have a trainer portal. We have tons of resources. We have the PowerPoint decks for each course. We have lecture notes. How every course for the learner has an AI mentor, kind of a teaching assistant, homework helper. There's an AI mentor for every course for trainers. So a lot of us came from the IT training world, where instructor-led is so prevalent. And so we brought those experiences and learnings to create a dynamic instructor-led training platform and resources. Again, kind of, the stuff is updated. The exams, we follow international ISO standards in building those exams. And then the stuff that we're going to talk about now, the really cool stuff, the things you should be excited about, is what we provide you to help you sell. Because in the end, if our partners don't sell anything, we don't make any money. So our interests are aligned for sure. Again, mentioned, there's over 70 certifications. They're broken in basically two types of groups. So the 1-day instructor-led, 6-8 hours e-learning, we call those the professional courses. So those, mostly those are the role-specific courses, AI plus marketing, sales, just there's dozens and dozens of them. Then over on the other side, we have the 5-day instructor-led, 40 hours e-learning. And they typically, will be some of the technical classes, certainly the cybersecurity, which we have tons of. We also have, some development and cloud. Not all of them are technical. We have a 5-day project manager course that's coming out, which obviously is not technical, but so you're typically looking 1 or 5-day, 6-8 hours or 40 hours e-learning. And also, I mentioned that we got, we're looking at over 200 certifications by the end of the year. There's not a list up here on the wall that, we can tell you what those are going to be. We have ideas, but, being smart, we also take feedback from the marketplace, from our partners. So I mentioned about, doing co-branded and co-developing with a couple of associations, just starting the conversation with a manufacturing organization. So if you come to us and say, Bill, we're a healthcare training company and you should have, phlebotomists or whatever. We want to have those conversations, right? That's what smart companies do. So I want to show you a little piece of magic here, so that this is a huge selling point, right? We're talking to you about, why you should become partners. Spend just a couple of minutes here on the product itself. So this is a screenshot of our UI. What we like to say is multimodality. So, there's multiple ways that a student can consume the content. You can watch the video. You read the ebook. If you're like me, I watch the video lectures with the closed captioning on. And funny enough, you can speed that up. And I found out in the last couple of weeks that more and more people do that. They can, listen and comprehend quicker. So they'll bump it up to 1.25 or 1.5. There's also 2 audio components. So you have the traditional audio book. So, one voice in your head, and then podcasts. Podcasts are unbelievably popular. So people, and then we also say multi-device. So computer, tablet, phone. A lot of people are listening to lessons, via podcasts while they're working out, walking their dog, doing laundry. You can actually do, the courses on your phone, just logging in. But we also have an app that's been downloaded. We've probably gone over 750,000 downloads by now. I know it was over 700,000 a couple of weeks ago. So it is a huge selling point when, the training that you're offering, because people like to learn differently, right? Maybe today I want to, listen to a podcast. I got 5 minutes. I'm going to watch this, video lecture. You can also see that, as you go through the content there on the right, there's checks, right? You get through a module, check, hey, did you grasp all this? And then when you get to the end, that's where the certification is, because it's unlike, traditional IT training certifications, right? Where you pay for a course, then you go buy an exam voucher. You might even have to go someplace else to do your test. With AI certs, it's all self-contained. The exams are built into the course. And there's a free retake, so you get 2 shots at it. You have access to the content for an entire year, and you have the entire year to knock out the certification. And it comes up periodically. So just for those that, if someone missed both of them, you can purchase a third attempt. So this is kind of how we laid out, the different ways to partner, our different partnership models. And I alluded to this a little bit, but, authorized training partner. And again, I've signed up, especially the last 90 days, multiple who I call solopreneurs. If these are individuals, they're consultants that have built up all these contacts, the course of their career, and now they want to become an AI evangelist, and they want to have a plug and play training offering. The same thing with, traditional IT training companies, right? They're good at selling 5-day Cisco or VMware courses, but they need an AI offering. So it runs the gamut. What we, fall is authorized training companies. I mentioned, academic partners. Again, different ways to do that through community colleges, 4-year colleges, adult continuing education. Again, I really emphasize that is in my experience, that's the easiest, entry point in an academic institution. Associations are another big deal. And, we're just, touching, just getting started on those. So there's some exciting things out there if you have contacts with associations. And then the fourth way to partner with this that I haven't talked about is simply become an affiliate. You're selling our e-learning. It's probably like most affiliate programs. You have your affiliate dashboard. You can list one course. You can list all the courses. The other thing too, I think, part of this is very important, is I mentioned 73 courses today. One of those is free, and it's called AI Plus Foundations. And it's free for a couple reasons. First, it's incredible lead generation for partners. I mentioned some of the solopreneurs that I've signed up recently. They'll go out and they do announcements, through the email and on LinkedIn. And they've given out, individuals have given out several hundred AI Plus foundations. I mean, they're chumming the waters, if you will. And then after people see that, 3-4 hour course has its own certification. It's like, yeah, I love the UI. I want to do this. Now I want to go do my role specific course, and I'll pay you money for that. And then I have other big time worldwide training organizations that have given out, last I checked was over 4,000 of those. That's chumming the waters. That's putting out lead generation. The other reason we did it is we have a goal to certify 1 billion people over the next 10 years. And so part of that too is philanthropic efforts, right? If you, have ties with nonprofits, that's a great thing to do, is give everybody in that nonprofit AI Plus foundations. Because 2 reasons. 1, because of the philanthropic angle. But 2, we all know that nonprofits have board members, executives that are tied to a company that might have 500 or 50,000 employees. And oh, wow, I didn't know about this AI cert stuff. So there's some great opportunities there. The affiliate program also works in a couple other ways. So we had people that start, all they've ever done, all they're ever going to be is an affiliate, right? Which is fine. We also have people that signed up as an affiliate and they go, all right, I've done, pretty good doing e-learning. I want the ability to sell instructor-led training because that's a much bigger margin, right? So they started out as an affiliate and then they worked up. They became a full partner. As a full partner, you can sell the e-learning, you can sell the instructor-led training. We also have something that were just announced last week. I'll give you guys a little, scoop, but it's an offering that's only going to be available to partners. And it's called the AI Plus All Access. So it's an all-you-can-eat e-learning subscription, which is very exciting. We've had partners ask about that. It's very exciting for several reasons. Because when you're talking to enterprise prospects, you can make a great case. The entire company needs AI literacy, so foundations or AI Plus for everyone. You can make a great case again that in 2026, people should know how to write great prompts. So AI prompting. Then the role specific course. So right there's 3 courses per person. And then the executives, you have AI plus executive, you have ethics, governance, and things like that. One of the cool things about the all access subscription is, yeah, people can still go in, do 2, 3 certifications, but they can also, and this was brought to, I didn't come up with this, someone else had shared about this, is, you know what? I don't want to go through and do 15 different courses. I have the opportunity, but I really, I kind of intrigued with this course over here. I want to do 2 modules out of this course, and then I want to do 3 modules out of that course. When you have this all-you-can-eat subscription, you can do that. If you signed up today, you would get access to 73 courses. And then as we roll out more courses over the next 365 days, you're going to get that. So in a month, you'll have access to over 100 courses. So that's another game changer that, again, we kind of just announced this on the edges, but a couple partners that already know about it have gotten very excited about it. And more importantly, their customers are excited about it. So again, we told you about this is a system that you can just plug in. You've already got the database, regardless of what you're selling today, whether it's healthcare, training, manufacturing, IT.